with me having to relearn, reprocess, rethink what sex was, that was like taking a part of my identity away.
Just because you may need to seek help or you may be in transition and things may not be right, it doesn't necessarily mean that your marriage is bad.
Marriage is a roller coaster ride that never ends.
From the twists of having children, to the turns of overly involved parents, or the highs of buying a new home, to the lows of unexpected lifestyle changes.
Marriage is dope, but let's be honest, fam. Marriage really be tiring.
Welcome to the Left Hand Gang podcast, hosted by Jazz and Spoon.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the Left Hand Gang podcast.
What up, gang?
Hey, girl.
Hey, baby.
Girl, you fine.
Every episode, bro.
That means I'm consistent.
You right.
I'm consistent.
You right.
And that means you look good.
I appreciate
If I continue to say the same thing at the same part of the episode, every episode, I'm just saying.
Thank you.
Consistency is
You look
key.
good too, baby.
Appreciate
You got
it.
fresh cut.
Yeah. Shout out to homie Duck.
yeah.
Shout out Duck, man. He got me right.
That
he got
part
me right.
looking right.
Oh, you talking about that right here? I
Yeah.
gotta get
Show it
this
to the
one.
people.
This one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Duck sauce. He got me right. Duck got me right. Whoo-wee. Man, we hope y'all been vibing with us and enjoying the episodes so far.
Yeah.
I can't remember the lady's name. I think her name is Destiny something. Sorry, I don't remember your last name, but just a random person that, I don't know, and I don't think you know. But she hit us up on what's the other one? YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Left a comment on the YouTube for the last video where we're talking about ministry and marriage. And I just want to shout her out and say thanks.
Thank you.
We appreciate the
Thanks,
love and
sis.
everything.
We appreciate you.
And we hope that whatever it is that we're talking about, it's beneficial.
In some way.
In some
hopefully.
kind of way, any kind
Yeah.
of way. But we thank you for randomly finding us and showing us some love. And just thank you so much.
Yes.
So, baby, how are you doing this evening, this late night recording? Dang, y'all, the deep sigh.
That's how I'm doing.
That makes me feel like I'm just a bad husband. Like
Oh my
I ain't been
gosh.
doing nothing. Like, how you feeling?
Oh,
You got something you want to get off your chest?
well, I got really excited and I hit the mic. Rewind. Okay, so everything is not always going to be like groovy and great. Like every time you ask someone how they're doing, especially in a marriage, we've talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not like, I'm not like amazing, but I'm not bad.
Right.
I'm
just,
cool.
You here.
I'm cool. Yeah.
you
I'm
chilling.
working through something. Yes.
And I think that's a very valid response.
I'm working through
I'm
something.
working
I
through
think we should say that more often.
Yeah.
I'm working through, and it'd be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though I may say that, it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to disclose what that is. So on the receiving end, you have to be prepared for that response and know, like, if they say no, I don't want to talk about it, that's okay.
They don't want to talk about it. And
Yeah.
it's not your business.
Yeah.
Just pray for them.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Working through something.
How you doing, baby?
I'm working through something.
Do you care to talk about that?
I guess I can share what I'm working through.
Okay.
And actually, you know what? That's what we're talking about tonight. Tonight. Y'all might be hearing it in the morning. It don't matter.
It's nighttime to
On
us.
tonight. It's a
Don't say
nighttime.
on.
Yeah, that's
That
the
is
thing.
the wrong
I know
preposition.
I did that on purpose because
Oh my
that's how the
gosh.
preachers be saying on tonight.
On
Yeah,
today.
that is. I hate that. Don't
And
do
you
it.
say it now.
And the crazy thing is, I got caught up in it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I got caught up in it.
Let's get
All
focused.
right,
Let's get focused.
yeah. So, I'm working through needing help. I need help. And at one point in time in my life, that was really hard to say because I'm the helper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the come in and rescue it. I'm add your stuff, take it off your plate, put it on my full plate, and still get everything done by the grace of God
Yep,
somehow.
that's
That's just how I'm built. And I'm in this point in my life right now where I can't do it all anymore. My capacity is at capacity.
That's a whole word. I've been there. Whew.
and things are rapidly changing in my life, and I just don't have the strength, to be honest, to be able to carry it all the way that I used to. And that's what I'm working through. And what makes it what has made it a bit more challenging is asking somebody else for help, knowing that they have a lot on their plate too. And that's what I've been working through.
How did you arrive? I have several questions. One, how are you feeling about that? And how did you arrive to this place of like going from I'm just going to figure it out, or I'm just going to take on everybody else's stuff, to now it's like I can't take on anything else and I actually need to distribute a little bit of mine and ask for help. How did you get there?
Well, first question, how do I feel? I feel liberated but afraid at the same time. Because whenever it comes to asking for help, the expectation is for that person to complete whatever the assignment was that you asked for help on. And I'm not the type of person where I'm looking for it to be done the way that I would do it. I am satisfied with the job being done. I could care less who gets the credit. I could care less who gets their name and lights. I need help getting this done. Can we get this done? Can you help me? So it's liberating to like, ooh, okay, and get that off my chest a little bit. I ain't got to worry about that. But it's like, they got a lot on their plate too, so I'm kind of fearful. And in the back of my mind, I'm planning for their plan too, just in case things don't go through or they don't complete the assignment because of how busy their schedule is or how much they already have on their plate. How did I arrive there? I arrived there by recognizing that I just can't do it.
How long did it take you to realize that you just couldn't do it?
How old am I?
Oh my gosh.
How old am I? 32?
Is that the answer for all men?
Yeah. I can't say, because again, I've always been that person, and I'm saying this not to be arrogant or braggadocious. I've rarely needed other people's help. It's a rare occurrence for me to need help because I've always figured it out. I've always been the one to figure it out. And now, with life in the way that it is, y'all, life is lifing. Oh God, it is lifing.
Dog.
I don't have the capacity. And you know what? I think this is one of the reasons why. I realized that I'm starting to forget things. Things are starting to slip. She over here like, yeah, that's it.
So glad you see that.
The attention to detail in certain things I don't really give anymore. I'm always looking for a shortcut. That's never really been my thing. And
Other than college, and that doesn't count.
Well, yeah, college don't. Everybody looks for a shortcut in college. And I mean, sidebar, it took me 5 years. So was it really a shortcut? Changed major like 3 times. Failed calculus
it
like
all
3
adds
times.
up to that.
Failed English like 3 times. So,
And you still managed to do it in 5 years. I mean, yeah.
Hey, but God is good. I'm working on a doctorate. I don't know how that happened, but
Amen.
Hey, this is how we do. So me looking for a way out, like, or procrastinating. Procrastination is a big one. And like, when we say procrastinating, a lot of people think procrastination in terms of just putting it off. But a lot of us, the majority of us, I would even say, we procrastinate by working on something else. That's how we procrastinate. I'm not going to do this right now. I'm going to go do this other thing that it is important, but it's not as important as the thing that I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm making it more important than the thing that I'm supposed to be doing.
You good for that one.
Oh yeah, I'm real good for that one. I'm real good for that one. Case in point, I'm supposed to be working on my dissertation, but the kitchen is dirty. I'm going to go ahead and clean the kitchen because, I want my wife to come home to a clean kitchen. And if she decides to cook something, won't be no dishes in the way. It is important.
This is so true.
It is very important. However, I need to be typing and reading these articles. This is what I need to be doing. So, yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you voiced that you needed help to me yesterday. Well, was it yesterday or the day before? I don't know. Within the last couple of days.
One of them days.
And on my end as the wife, that was actually hard to hear. Because you have always been the one that doesn't really need help.
Yeah.
And somehow in my mind, and I feel like a couple other women can probably resonate with this, but like I heard you say, well, this is what you said. I'm needing help to help balance the things that I have on my plate. I heard, I need you to take over the house and take care of stuff. I need you to handle Kai. I need you to like pick up the slack wherever there is slack and do all the things and kind of like just let me work on my dissertation and ministry. And that's what I heard. I don't know how I got that from you saying that you needed help. So then what I did was I took it all on and I was like, okay, I know I can't do it, but I'm going to try to do it.
You didn't ask for that. I didn't ask you to.
Which led to me being frustrated and overwhelmed. And what it showed me was there wasn't clear communication. Like when you said, I need help, I asked you, what does that look like? But it still wasn't clear for me. And I think that sometimes we can do that in marriage. Like one person says something and we just interpret it a certain way. And then we run with that. And that's not even what the other person was trying to communicate. And if you don't have a relationship where you can come and talk to that person, because we had to come circle back.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a relationship like that, or you're too prideful and you don't go back, that leads to resentment, that leads to bitterness and unresolved issues. And then you just like compile that over time, you're going to explode. You know what I mean? Like that's going to end up being a disaster. And I'm thankful that we were able to come back and talk about that. And you want to talk about some of the things that specifically you're needing help with? Because I feel like you're not the only man who needs to say, I need help. And they feel like, yeah, my wife would help me, but either they're the rescuer like you. So they're like, I don't want to add anything to anyone's plate. Or they're just feeling like, I don't know how. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know how to say I need help.
So like, I just have so much in my head. I got scripture in my head. I got
Let's go.
Random stuff in my head. I just got stuff in my head. But like you said, and I'm gonna get to your question. But you said you felt as if I was saying, hey, I need you to do everything that I'm doing. I'm going to take the stuff off of your plate and put it on mine. Whereas that's not even anything remotely close to what I said. I just said I need help. And I think we need to scale back on what help means based off of what we were taught help means. Because, the definition of help is to assist, to add value, to be present, to literally assist, attribute or contribute to whatever the task is, not take over the task. So, like, whenever I think about the Bible, God created Adam and then he pulled Eve out of Adam and called her his helpmeet. So her job was to help him with whatever it was that God had given him, whatever task that God had put forth to him, which was to work. So her job wasn't to take over Adam's position or take what Adam was supposed to be doing, but to help Adam do what God had called for him to do. So the reason why I said that was because a lot of us, we don't understand that men specifically, when we ask women for help, we're actually asking them to do their job. And I'm not saying that to be, like, you need to do your job and you just blah 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 blah.
I understand what you meant by it.
But literally, it is God created you to help, not
Right.
meaning less than, not meaning a man is supposed to dominate you or be the dictator, but literally walking in your purpose, which is to help, which is to assist.
Yeah.
And me as the man, as the leader, we have to create an opportunity for you to do your job. And if I don't let my pride down and say, hey, I need you to be you, then it is impossible for you to be what God has called for you to be to the fullest within our marriage, within our home, because I didn't let my pride down and say, hey, I need your help. I need your input. I need your value. I need your thoughts. I need your ideas. I need your insight in this. I literally need your help because I can't lead us wherever it is that God has called for us to be without your help.
Right. And we literally talked about that in another episode.
Yeah, like I can't. It is impossible. And I had to have that humbling experience. Yes, I can do a whole lot by myself. Yes, I can figure stuff out. Yes, I can do this and I can do that. But it's limited because I don't have help. And I need the help. What's hard for us as men is with us being so used to figuring it all out, we don't know how to ask. We don't know how to articulate. Or with us being mindful of what's going on in our homes, it's like, ooh, well, I'll go ahead and take that because she tired. She exhausted. She been doing this and she been doing all that. Hello, bruh. You're also tired. You've been doing this and you've been doing that. And you've been at work and you've been moving things around. You've been budgeting it. Blah, blah, blah. You've been taking care of the house in other ways. So everybody is equally tired. Yeah. Everyone is equally as exhausted. But we have to let our pride down so that we can ask for help. And it doesn't mean that we're weak. It doesn't mean that we're incapable. It doesn't mean that we're not smart enough. It literally means that we're limited and we need somebody else, our wives, to help us go past our limitations. Man, I didn't mean to give that sermon, but that's kind of how it went. What was your question?
I don't remember, but I don't remember. It was something like how, I don't know. But I do have another question. I'm just going to leave that alone because I don't know what that is.
Back, maybe.
What are the things that you are needing help with? And you don't have to be.
That was the question.
Was it?
Yeah. It was the question. You forgot the question and then asked the question.
I thought it had something to do with like men. Like how can men ask for help because they don't know how or something?
Yeah, it was that, and then it was don't
judge us.
Hey, it's left hand. This is marriage. This is what we do. This is how we do. So right now, I got, ministries turned up tremendously. I just got a new job opportunity. Actually, I got the position. And so y'all, I just started as a leadership and marriage coach and future therapist. I'll be at Aspen House Associates.
You're gonna be
one
amazing.
Time. God willing, I'll be okay.
You're gonna be great.
I'm just gonna do the Lord's
excited.
will there. So those are two big things. Obviously, I got the dissertation that I'm fighting every day.
We all fight.
Yep.
I feel like cockfighting.
Yeah, no. And then I'm studying for my counseling exam so I can get my license to be a therapist. And then I'm a husband and a daddy. And just to be honest with y'all, Spoon done got fat. He done let himself go. He out of shape. All of that. And I'm getting back in the gym.
Hey.
And so like that's a big thing. So I got a trainer and everything, and yeah. So with all of those different things, and I ain't mentioned DJ Spoon stuff.
Yeah, I
that's
was just
going
gonna
on.
leave that alone.
Leave that alone. Among other things that she don't even know would be jumping around in my head. So with all of these things, I can't do it all. And I needed her help. I needed to ask her, like, hey baby, I need your help. I need your help. I need your help with stuff here in the house. I need your help with maybe some ministry things. I need your help with insurance. Y'all, we try to get that together. Y'all pray for us that we find the right insurance company.
Entrepreneur or individual insurance, whatever it's called.
It's trash.
Ghetto.
It's a hard process.
Absolutely ghetto.
It's so trash. But so like other things like that is like I don't have time or the brain capacity or power to really think about a lot of those things. So I got all these other things going on. And all these other things that I have going on really pertain to where we end up in the future. All of these are small steps or stepping stones that will really launch us out into doing even more things. So I have to really, really be wise and discern where I need to allocate my time, attention, and my focus. So yeah.
Yeah, I think thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Because that is a lot. And as the wife, I had to humble myself, and I have to remember, like, I'm pushing you towards your goals just like you're pushing me towards mine. And I have to see all the things on your plate as a priority as well. The fear I had and what had me all frustrated and frazzled when we initially had this conversation is I thought when my husband says he needs help, that means that I have to let go of the things that are important to me. And I didn't understand. Not even I didn't understand. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to like handle my stuff and all of his.
Yeah.
And Kai. Like, there's no way I could do the whole home and marriage and finances and everything by myself. But my husband reminded me, I'm not supposed to.
Nah.
And you said something so beautiful, and I'm not going to do it justice, but it was like, just because I asked you for help, it doesn't mean that I don't help you still, or something like that.
Well, because I ask you for help, it doesn't stop you from asking me for help.
Yeah. And I needed to hear that. Like, I knew, I think I knew that already, but I needed to be reminded of that. And so what we realized is we need a schedule.
Yep.
We used to have one.
Yeah, and then
and then life happened.
We had a child.
So
that's it. No, life. We had a child. That's
we
what
need
happened.
a new schedule, and we need a family schedule.
Yeah.
Because since Kai has been born, like you had your schedule, I had mine individually, but we didn't have one like for
together,
the whole family.
For the family.
And we're about to start that, y'all, and I'm actually really excited about it. Like, I'm really excited for us to all be on the same page, and I don't have to ask you like, hey, what time did you say you're working on your dissertation again on Tuesdays? Or, like, what time do you practice? What time do you DJ? Or like, it's all going to be understood, it's like literally everybody has their own thing. Kai has his own schedule.
Yeah.
I've got mine. You have yours. But to be able to bring that together, I think is going to allow us to be more fluid.
Yeah.
And it's going to be able to allow you to thrive and to take care of the things you need to, and for me to thrive and take care of the things that I need to. Because I wasn't willing to let that go. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that as moms and as wives, it's one thing my mom told me is, don't lose your identity when you get married. You are still an individual person, just like Lorian is an individual person. And I remember I was like, yeah, I know that. Like, he doesn't make me be someone else. But it's not the spouse that causes you to be someone else. It's all of the environmental factors.
Yeah.
It's the kids, it's the new schedules, it's the job, it's how everything is evolving around you that causes you to be squeezed and to lose sight of stuff, and before you know it, you're lost.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that I guess this is a good thing. I can be a little selfish. This is one of those times where me being selfish helped me realize, like, no, I'm not gonna let it go. I'm not budging. And because of that, we were able to come back to the drawing board and communicate differently and now come up with what I think is going to help us.
Yeah.
What you thinking?
I'm thinking about a lot of stuff. Like just how we when we get married and we say those traditional vows, sickness and health and death do us part, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Like there comes a point in time in your marriage where you really have to dig deep and say, bruh, I can't do this. I need help.
Yeah.
And you have to let your pride down and even change the way that you think or your perspective on what help truly means, on what not just being the recipient of help, but the asker of help, the seeker of help. Because we have to be very intentional about not only asking for help, but being detailed in how we articulate the message of help. I need help with X, Y, and Z, so I need you to do this, 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 and this.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying do this, 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 and this from a demanding sense, but I need you to do these different things that I've outlined because it would take pressure off of me. It would take things, off of my plate. And again, I'm not asking you to take over it. I'm asking you to assist. So instead of me doing the dishes every single day of the week, could you take Thursdays? That would really help me. It'll help. It'll help. Give me more time to do this, to work out, or it'll give me an extra hour of sleep or whatever. Hey,
dishes gonna give you an extra hour?
Some people will take an hour to do dishes. I don't know how many kids you got in your house. I don't know.
Wait a minute.
I'm just saying.
You gotta outsource that.
Maybe not. So we have to be very articulate and mindful of our words. And for the recipient or the person who is being asked of, like really being intentional about hearing what is said and not attributing what you think help is.
That's good.
Because I remember a while back, there's a story about this couple, and this woman was trying to help her husband, and she was doing everything that she saw her mom do. But the husband, he was like, yeah, that's cool, but I didn't marry that woman. I didn't marry the woman that you're portraying or making yourself out to be, because you're doing all of these different things. It's cool. I appreciate it, but that's not the help that I need from you. I'm really needing this, 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 and this. All that other stuff, I didn't grow up in a house seeing that. So that's actually foreign to me. And that doesn't really help me. It doesn't really benefit me any. I mean, it's cool and I'm grateful, but we have to be able to see, okay, how can I help? What does my help look like? And if it don't make sense, hey, bro, so when you said you need help, what exactly did you need? Because I think with that, we're kind of like expecting people to just know. Mm-hmm. We're just expecting people to to spontaneously guess what we need and get it right. Like, bro, just tell them.
And while that does feel great, it's not ideal.
It's not ideal.
It usually doesn't work.
It doesn't. Like,
especially in a marriage. Unspoken expectations.
Unspoken expectations. Like, just tell them. I mean, it goes with sex. Bruh, just tell them what you want. How do y'all want to do it? Blah, blah, blah. Like, bruh, this ain't the movies. We already done this episode, but just saying it again. This ain't the movies. Like, it's not this super duper spontaneous thing that happens every single time that y'all come together. Like, bro, just tell them what you want. You'll get to your destination faster and you'll get to bed faster. I'm just saying. You can't have these unspoken expectations, whenever it comes to help. So I feel like I just ranted. Did I rant? Did I rant a little bit?
It's okay. It made sense though.
I hope so. I feel like I ranted. And when you be
ranting,
ranting,
it off your chest.
When you be ranting, you be repeating yourself.
Yeah.
And you be saying the same thing.
Real passionately.
and then you kind of flip words around and make it sound different, but you just said the
You
exact
literally said the
same
same
thing.
thing.
Yeah, that's probably what I did. So I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah, you did. I mean, between now and earlier in the episode, but it's really okay.
Yeah, said the same thing. Same
okay.
same thing.
So,
oh man,
did you get it off your chest?
I think I did. I don't know. Did you get it off yours?
I think so.
So, let me ask you, from the person being asked of, like, I know you briefly mentioned, how it kind of made you feel, like, overwhelming, blah blah blah. So what was your processing like?
I was constantly praying, literally, because I went from overwhelmed to, sorry, I don't know the word, but like basically I felt like you were saying, this is so terrible. All these stories I'm telling myself. What I initially heard was, the things that you're doing, Jazz, are not enough. It's not working. I need you to take this stuff because I need help. I need you to just do this. And even though you didn't explicitly say what you needed help with at that point, I just assumed like it was everything.
And what I'm doing right now is
not enough. So I went from that to, okay, I'm just going to figure it out. I'm just going to do it. There's no way I'm going to be able to do it all, but I'm just going to try. And Lord, help me. Help me to not be selfish. Help me to not be resentful. Help me to not be bitter. Lord, help me to hear what he said. Like, humble my heart. Like, that's literally what I was having to say so that I could suppress my emotions and really get to the meat of what you said. So it took me a day or so to just like move my emotions out of the way. And usually I'm pretty good about it, but for some reason, I think it's because I had told myself this big lie, like this really big story. And so my feelings were really hurt and I was trying to deal with it on my own.
And what was the big lie?
All of that, like that the things that I was doing weren't enough around the house. I hadn't been that great of a wife if you're needing help. And you needed me to manage more. And that meant that I would have to push photography to the side, that I would have to put aside like all the things that I care about, Sam's, my time alone, like away from Kai, away from you. Like I would have to do bedtime routine every night. Like I literally just thought like I was having, like it was a big, like I'm kind of getting emotional talking about it. I was like really burdened.
I just asked for help.
But you didn't tell me yet what you needed help with. So
you didn't ask.
You the one that asked for help?
I did, but dang.
But I didn't know. I was ready. It was going to be hard, but I was ready. I was diving in to try and do it all. And so after I got through that, I was able to finally come to you and tell you how I was feeling because I was able to articulate that. And then you were able to explain to me what you needed help with. And so where I am now, I'm sitting in this place of trying to find balance, and that's why I'm really excited about the schedule. But I've also noticed that I've been way more focused. I'm having to think ahead a lot more often. For example, it's breakfast time right now. Kai may be eating oatmeal and some milk. I'm already thinking like, okay, we got this and this and this. He should probably eat this for lunch. I am probably going to work on blah, blah, blah. Like I'm literally trying to think things through ahead of time. And it's just new. It's just new. And so I feel hopeful that it's going to be smoother and it's going to be easier for me. I'm also hopeful that this schedule is going to be the bomb.com. And I'm also very hopeful that for my husband, things are going to be a little bit smoother for him, not just for me. But I'm hoping that like you are going to feel relieved in some areas. And I'm cheering you on. I really am. It may not seem like it, but I'm just trying to navigate new waters right now.
Like you saying that you're like thinking ahead and blah, blah, blah. My brain just went, because I don't have to think ahead in that right now. Like that is what help is. That's what help does. And I'm glad that you really walked us through that process, because a lot of people stop at that first one, like, I'm not good enough, it needs me to do more, and this, that, and the third. Whereas you continue to kind of push past that, and you're like, okay, there's something deeper there. Let me move my flesh out of the way. Let me move my pride out of the way, and just kind of see.
It was
and,
hard, bro.
And I know.
It was so
I
hard.
know. But we were able to come to a resolve because me asking for help was no longer about you.
Mm-hmm.
Because at first it was.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta do this, I gotta move this out of the way. This fool asking me to stop doing all of my stuff that he been supporting me in and he been pushing me to do. Now he asking me to stop my stuff so he can do his stuff. And those words never came out of my mouth. And so you were able to push past that to be like, okay, he's actually asking because of X, Y, and Z, and he didn't ask me to take over it. And so you being able to process that gave me so much peace. I'm like, okay, my dog, she gonna help me. She gonna help me. And I don't have to worry about trying to pre-plan something in the back of my head, because I can tell that you are not only willing, but you're truly creating space to help. And I've made it easier for you by outlining what exactly it is that I need assistance with. And so, men, I want to just tell y'all this. You have to continuously affirming your wife of things. And that means sometimes you're going to repeat yourself. It's okay. That some women need that affirmation, because let's be honest, some of us men, we need that affirmation too. Mm-hmm. And so to say, hey, look, I'm not asking you to take over. I'm just asking you to assist. I need you to do this and I need you to do that. Now remember, just because I ask you for help, it should not stop you from asking me from helping, stop you from asking me for help, because we're here to help each other. It's just this thing right now, it really has me bogged down and I could really use your assistance. Like us continuously reiterating that, repeating that, and coming back with that, it just makes it a lot easier for your wife, for your spouse, and ultimately it creates space for y'all to be able to have, I would even say, more in-depth conversations. And you'd be surprised about how more in-depth you'll get whenever talking about help and what that means and what assistance means.
Baby, I just thought about something.
What's
and you'll
up?
be really proud, because I held it the whole time. So I didn't hear anything you said, because I just kept repeating
Okay,
it over
well,
in my
you
head.
held it.
Yeah. So
Lord help me.
remember our goals that we set? We talked about how, I think we made it. We made an episode about like what that looks like for
Relationship
us.
goals. Yeah.
And so we had, like our opportunities, we had like our couples goals, and then we had our individuals, the things that we gave to each other. And do you remember one of mine for you was to articulate your needs?
Yeah.
And you did that.
I did.
And that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Because we've been looking at it as like, oh, like I finally said what I needed, but like that's also one of your goals that you set for this next year. And
Well,
like,
look at that.
wow.
I didn't even realize
And I was
that.
trying to hold you back.
See? I almost got scolded
Yeah.
for
voicing your needs.
For voicing my needs.
Yeah.
For doing the goal, accomplishing the goal that somebody set for me.
And I really want to celebrate you right now. Solar girl.
Shine.
Shout out to Solar. Give you some shine.
Some shine.
Because you stood in what you said. Like, you did not waver. And I don't know what happened internally, but I'm sure you noticed my disposition changed. And I'm sure you noticed that, like, yeah, I feel lighter, but I see my wife is like struggling. But it didn't cause you to be like, you know what, baby, it's fine. Like, you stood in like, nah, bro, I really need help. And I'm very proud of you for that. And I think as a wife, I should have noticed, like, if he's, for him to say it, I knew it was a big deal. But, you didn't budge. It was like, nah, I'm still standing here in what I said because this is what I need.
I need help.
And I think this is my final thought. You mentioned earlier about how like you've been forgetful and not paying close attention to detail and just being transparent. I've noticed that for like a couple months and it has bothered the crap out of me. I've even brought it to your attention and you've been kind of like dismissive about it, like but you weren't really paying attention. Or normally you say some kind of joke back like, I ain't forgetful, you forgetful, like
that's me.
And I'm like, whatever, like, but really, and I've been saying like, baby, we talked about that, and you like, we did.
Yeah.
And so at first it was very light, and then it's been making me mad. Like I've been getting irritated.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it's because you were just at capacity, but I know what that's like. Like I've been there. That was me my last year of teaching, like capacity done. Yeah. And actually the year before that, that virtual teaching, like I was like, I can't be asked for anything
Don't
else.
ask me for nothing else.
And so shame on me for not recognizing the signs in you, but I'm glad that you see it now. And I'm just excited for where this is going to be. Like, I can't wait for the testimony, like, to come back and be like, hey, y'all, my mind's clear and needs are being met. So, yeah, I'm very proud of you for that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And I want to apologize because you asked me twice today.
What I asked
to
you?
empty the
yeah.
What is that? The diaper thing.
The diaper genie.
Diaper genie.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and I'm coming back to it, and I didn't. I never came back.
I just went in and did it.
That was today. Today.
But that's been like things like that are happening a lot, and I'm noticing like I'm getting frustrated with you because I ask you to do something, and it either takes you like 10 years to get to it, or you don't get to it at all.
Yep.
But there's grace there.
Yeah, but you was trying to hold your boy back.
I was gonna help. I might have did it with an attitude at first, but I was gonna be there.
Yeah, but we thank God for grace for both of us.
Yes, we do.
And that is the grace of God. Both of us are opposite ends of the spectrum, and
that's marriage.
And we both got the same grace. Grace on me for forgetting stuff, and grace on her for making my need about her. Man, grace of God.
Yeah.
Whew, how you feel?
I feel good. I don't know if any of that made sense to anybody.
Oh well,
but hopefully they can fumble through it and like find something.
They'll get what they need. Take the meat, throw away the bones.
Something in there.
It might be one
to
thing.
Help somebody.
Yeah,
I feel like it.
Yeah, I think people may get perturbed at me because I said how did I word that? How I'm creating space for you to do your job. The whole women thing. Yeah, I ain't mean it no kind of way.
when you said it, it did sound
it sounded very demeaning.
But
so,
I knew what you meant.
So yeah, if that came off, I ain't gonna say if. I know it will. I know it came off how it did. So I just want to apologize for that, for it coming off that way. I did not mean it in any kind of demeaning way, because I ain't even that type of dude. I'm really not.
I don't even.
So yeah, I don't ever. So y'all, please show me grace and forgive me for that. And, your boy was a little out of pocket. Just a little out of pocket. Oh my goodness. So just a little bit.
It's okay.
Just a little bit.
It's okay. Get out of there, baby.
Get out of there. Ooh, baby, why you? I know what you mean, but we can only get it out of there.
I worked really hard not to like hit one of those, like, because I think I was facing this way, and I really was about to like hit a neck, like,
Like what?
But I worked really hard on my face.
You did.
Hopefully, I don't know what happened on camera, but I really hope that I did.
They be alright.
Thanks for your apology.
Yeah.
We're extending grace to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that grace.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I had to get double grace for this episode. Man, we thank y'all so much for tuning in with the Left Hand Gang, man. Y'all we love y'all so much.
We do.
And we are 10 episodes in. With this will be episode 11. And one of our goals was to hit 15 for the year.
That was one of our goals.
So we're almost there. We almost there with our goal for the year. So, but yeah, this be episode 11. Anything else? Any closing remarks?
No, just thank y'all so much. We really appreciate y'all. We really, really do.
All right, we love y'all. Y'all be easy.
Peace.
Peace. Thank y'all so much for tapping in with the Left Hand Gang podcast.
Be sure to follow, like, subscribe, and rate us.
And lastly, please don't forget to check out our website. That's lefthandgang.co for merch and ways to stay connected.
Catch you next episode.
Gang.